Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Right, as you can see, this is going to be a top 10 movies for 2016. I know I said I probably wasn't going to make another video this year, except for maybe Christmas gifts video. But I was just sitting here earlier, and I thought, you know what, I've seen a lot of films this year, and my good friend Murray on Twitter messaged me about a week ago or so, and said, oh Pete, can you do a top 10 movies video? And I thought, well, I don't think I've seen enough films. I thought I'd only seen about 10 films. But I've actually gone through the list of films released this year, and I've actually watched 19 films this year, and I was really surprised. I didn't realise I'd seen so many. So I thought, you know what, why not? So I put the list together, and I took out the 10 that I thought were the films that I'd watched the most, that had more re-watchability than others. And I arranged them into a nice little top 10 list. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this, guys. Hope it's of interest. And obviously, if you've seen any of these films, let me know down below what your top 10 is and what you thought of the films. First of all, I thought what I'd do, because as I said, I've seen 19 films, the other 9 films, I'd just give you a quick rundown of what they were and a brief if I liked it or not. So first up is Deadpool. I hated that film. I know it got universal praise. I personally thought it was shite. It did not make me laugh. I think there was like 2 jokes that I thought were funny, and that was it. The majority of the film, definitely not for me, not my sense of humour at all. And I found it a really, really boring film. Halfway through the film, I was clock watching, just waiting for it to end. And I was just glad when it did. Yeah, Deadpool is a real disappointment, because even Thor, which I'm not a big fan of watching those films, at least Thor is an interesting character. I just found this Deadpool film to be absolute trash. So yeah, it just did not work for me at all. Next up was Ghostbusters, the new reboot with the all-female Ghostbusters. Of course, you know, everyone knows all the bullshit controversy and everything, but I went into this film, thought I'd give it a try, because at the end of the day, it was getting mixed reviews, like a lot of films seem to have got this year. And I got to say, it wasn't all that bad. I have to say, I didn't have any nostalgia for the first 2 films. I watched them as a kid, thought they were good. I've never been someone who's raved about them films. I wanted to watch them over and over and over again. I've probably seen them maybe twice if I'm lucky in my life. Maybe even once, I don't know. It's that much that I haven't watched them. And so I wasn't that bothered going into this film, whether it matched up to the originals or not, or if there was too many cameos from the original cast. I've got to say, I thought the film wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't crap like everyone said either. It was just an alright film. I would have watched it again? No, probably not. But it was okay. I thought Leslie Jones was the only saving grace in it, to be quite honest. She was the only one that actually made me laugh a lot. She was really good. I can't remember the name of the blonde girl, the one that's off SNL. Her character, I don't know what was going on there. It's like a complete cartoon character. It was just weird. It did not fit with the tone of the film and the other characters, and it just didn't work for me. I thought she was really irritating, actually. I really like her on SNL, but I just can't stand her in the Ghostbusters movie. The only really good bit that I actually enjoyed was right at the end with the big battle. That was really cool. So I thought the film was just an average film. It's probably like a 5.5, 6 out of 10. It's alright, it's watchable. You know, it's not a film that I'd pan like a lot of people did. Next up, we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I saw that recently. I really liked that a lot. As I said in my previous video, didn't like it as much as the Harry Potter films, but it is the first in an upcoming 5-film series. So, you know, it's only laying the groundwork really for these new characters, and obviously putting the Wizarding World in New York. So it will improve, and there'll be a lot more to unfold, I assume. But for what I got in the first film, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the effects were amazing. As I said before, when you go inside the suitcase, the creatures were just incredible. I liked Newt Scamander. I just liked everything about the film. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's what I want to get when I see a film. I want to be entertained for a couple of hours. You know, I want to just get lost in that world and just escape from reality, and it was fantastic. Hence the name. Next up, Independence Day Resurgence. What a pile of shit. Easily the worst film of 2016, bar none, without doubt. It was just, oh man, that film was shite. And I don't like to be one of these people that just absolute out and out trashes the film, but there's no saving grace from that film whatsoever. The only actor even attempting to try and make the most of his lines was Jeff Goldblum, and he was struggling. The other actors were just, I don't think they could take the script seriously. It was awful, 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 awful film. The CGI, the visual effects were a joke. Normally, when I watch people review films and they criticise the visual effects, I'm just sitting there going, really? You can really tell the difference? You can really spot that? I smell bullshit. But I've got to be honest, watching Independence Resurgence, it was just pathetic. You could clearly see they were just standing in a room with a green screen, and that was just pushed on afterwards. It was just terrible. It was so fake and so badly done. And I was just glad when the film was over. It was terrible. Next up was Jason Bourne. Really like that. Great film. Just another Bourne film, really. They didn't really push it on too much further, but you know, it was much better than the Bourne Legacy. I didn't like that, but obviously this is a proper Jason Bourne film because Bourne Legacy was a different character with Jeremy Renner. I really like Jason Bourne. I thought the reviews again were a mixed set of reviews from what I was seeing. Some people loved it, some people thought it was crap. I thought it was pretty decent myself. It was a good little action film. Nothing amazing. It's just basically, if you've seen what trying to think what the names are. Identity and the other two. I've not forgotten what they're called, but blanked anyway. You know the ones I mean, the Paul Greengrass movies. He did this one as well. It's got his stamp all over it. It's just like those two films as well. Supremacy and the other one. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. Yes. If you like those, if you like the first three Jason Bourne films, in fact, just go watch Jason Bourne. It's great. For me, Identity is still the best one, though. Then there was 10 Cloverfield Lane. Good film. I enjoyed it. You know, yeah, it was all right. It was watchable. Wouldn't watch it again, though. Didn't like it as much as the first one in terms of rewatchability, but it was a good film. And we have The Accountant with Ben Affleck, which was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. Ben Affleck plays a hitman with autism. Really, really cool. Great job from Ben Affleck, as always. He's brilliant. The film was really good. The action was done well. It was well paced. Yeah, I'd highly recommend checking out The Accountant. Really enjoyed that film. Jack Reacher 2, Tom Cruise's probably worst film in the last couple of years. It was okay, but let's put it this way. Jack Reacher 1 was okay. Jack Reacher 2 isn't as good as Jack Reacher, so, you know. Yeah, it was just an alright film. If it's one of those, if it comes on a Sunday afternoon or this weekend is Christmas, so if you're sitting there Christmas and they put it on, you'd be like, yeah, that was alright for an hour and a half, you know. But to pay money for it, you might be a little disappointed. And then there was The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, which was a 70s throwback cop comedy. Yeah, weird film. It was okay, but most of the good jokes were spoiled in the trailer, so it was alright. I wouldn't watch it again. Right, anyway, that's that. Those are the films that are discounted from the list. Now let's get on to the important part and the top 10 films that I absolutely loved this year and will buy on Blu-ray if I don't own them already, because some of them have come out, and I'll rewatch multiple times. So, at number 10 is, this might surprise you, the Purge election year. And you're probably going, what? I really like the Purge films. The first one was okay, but the second one was just, Purge Anarchy was brilliant. I loved being out in the world, and you know, Frank Grillo was just amazing. The film was awesome. In this one, Frank comes back and he's the bodyguard for a senator, and I can't remember her name. She's the bird from Lost and a few other things. She's also in the reboot of V as well. Great actress. And she plays a senator who's trying to shut down the Purge, and so obviously they have to kill her. And Frank has to protect her. And it's a very, very silly film, and it's incredibly stupid, in fact. And there's a character who raids a shop with her friends, and I can't remember what the lighting is now. Was it Chocolate Bar or something? It's something absolutely ludicrous. It's been a few months since I watched this, but my God, it was dumb. But it was that dumb that I really enjoyed it. And I will just say right now, this is going to be spoilers all the way through. I can't be asked to try and dodge around things. If you haven't seen the films, probably wait until you've watched it before watching this video. Yeah, there's scenes in the film which are so ludicrous. Like they're driving down the street, and obviously the Purge guns, people are killing each other, and the camera pans down an alleyway, and there's a guy down in the alleyway with a full, huge built guillotine, and he's chopping people's heads off. Now that should be sickening, but it's actually hilarious, because it's like, all I was thinking was, how the hell did he have time? Has he been building that for the last year? And if he built it, how did he get it to that alleyway? And why did he choose to put it in an alleyway and not just put it out on the street? And I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking the logistics of building it and moving it. And I thought, no, bollocks would he have done that? That's ridiculous. There's a scene where they come across a woman on a bench, and she's sitting on the bench, and next to her is a bloke just burning to death on the floor, and he's just on fire. It's absolutely ridiculous. Some of the dialogue is absolutely atrocious, but so hilariously funny. And, you know, by about halfway through the film, I started thinking, actually, this is really shit, but it's really good as well. And I really loved it. So yeah, if you just accept that it's a dumb movie and you don't take it seriously, which I know a lot of reviewers seem to do with films, unfortunately, they seem to put them all on the same plateau and not realise that all films are different. But hey, but yeah, I loved The Purge election year. I thought it was fantastic and I can't wait for the next one. Number 9 is 13 Hours by Michael Bay. Now that's a statement. Michael Bay making a good film. This was amazing. This was about the Benghazi situation, which I didn't personally know too much about what happened in Benghazi. I just know that Hillary Clinton gets blamed for it. That was about my extent of my knowledge. It was really, really interesting. The story was well done. And I actually thought Michael Bay handled it really nicely because he's obviously got a bit of a ham-fisted approach when it comes to these kind of films and just films in general, really, Transformers. But I thought 13 Hours was fantastic. It was gripping. It was interesting. The gunfights were incredibly well shot. They looked absolutely stunningly beautiful. It was a real shock because I didn't know what to expect. And I saw a couple of people online, like professional reviewers, saying, you want to watch this film. It's actually quite good. And I sat down and watched it and I was completely gripped from beginning to end. And I was like, that was a surprise. A Michael Bay film that I enjoyed. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out 13 Hours. Just forget that it's Michael Bay and, obviously the politics and stuff, depending on where you feel about that, just watch it anyway. It's a really, really good film. Number 8, The Magnificent Seven. Now, I'm not a big fan of Westerns, never really have been growing up. The only film that ever really stuck in my mind was The Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. That was really cool. But I've never been a massive Western fan. My dad loves them. But me and my dad went to see Magnificent Seven, and it's made by Antoine Fuqua, my favourite director, so consequently it had to really make my top 10 list this year. But I absolutely loved it because even as as someone who doesn't watch a lot of Westerns, I was really surprised by how much I recognise in the cinematography and the way that they frame the shots and do the letters on the screen. It's really clever, actually. It just reminded me of the old spaghetti Westerns. There's a really cool shot of Denzel when he's standing in the doorway, which I absolutely loved. It's a fantastic movie. I thought they did a great job. You've got a great cast. As I say, you've got Denzel, you've got Vincent D'Onofrio, you've got Chris Pratt, and a few others who I can't remember offhand, but I was really impressed. I wasn't too sure if I was going to enjoy it because I'm not a big Western guy, but there was a lot of really great actions, a brilliant gunfight in the town. Denzel is awesome as always, because he always is, and Denzel and Antoine work so well together. They work together on Training Day, they work together on Equalizer, so they've got a good relationship. Oh, Ethan Hawke as well, because he was in Training Day and he's in this. Someone I'm not a big fan of, Ethan Hawke, but he's really good in this. Occasionally he impresses me. But yeah, Magnificent Seven, I really, really enjoyed it. And if whether you're a fan of Westerns or not, just give it a try. I think you'll enjoy that one a lot. Even just from a visual standpoint, the cinematography is gorgeous. Next up, number 7, is another surprise this year, a film that I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I did, The Legend of Tarzan. Now this one, when it came out, the reviews weren't very good. They weren't bad, but they're just like, it's not that brilliant. I watched it. I absolutely loved this film. It was such a fun escape. It reminded me of like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, that kind of vibe, and it was just incredible. I can't never remember the name of the actor who plays Tarzan, Lord Greystoke. He's the guy who played Eric in True Blood, if you're a fan of that, which I was a massive fan of. Yeah, he does an absolutely incredible job in the lead role, and he has Sam Jackson to back him up, who's just incredible in everything he does. I thought the visual effects on the monkeys was brilliant. I thought the action was well done, the drama was well paced. It was just a really, really surprising film, and one that I would highly recommend everyone checking out, because it may be something you've glossed over because of the reviews, but if not, please go and watch it. It's fantastic. Okay, number 6 is Star Trek Beyond. Another film which, I grew up in a Star Trek household. My dad is a massive Trek fan, and so I sort of became one just by default, because my dad always had it was mostly Next Generation. Occasionally he'd have the original series on, and of course I watched all the films when they came out as well, and I love Star Trek. And I've really enjoyed what JJ has done with the film so far. I know he didn't this one, it was Justin Lin, I think it was, remember rightly? I think that's correct. I've really, really impressed. And Sophia Boutella, without doubt, was the standout in this film. I'm forgetting the name of her character, the alien that she plays, but she's absolutely brilliant. If you don't know who she is, she was the girl in Kingsman with the blades on her instead of legs. Incredible actress. And she's also in the upcoming Mummy film with Tom Cruise playing the Mummy. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this film a lot. I was really happy with what they did with Star Trek Beyond. And if you don't know, basically the cast gets split up on a planet and they have to come back together and find each other. And it's just really well done, beautifully stylized. There was controversy over the music at the end, which I didn't mind because it was going back to Kirk's music in the first film, which I thought was absolutely fine, worked well for me. I had a lot of fun with it. Anything basic criticism I can have for the film, and this is just a nitpick thing, was the one bit where the Enterprise is going down a hill, and it does that classic thing where it goes down the hill, behind some trees, you don't see it, the music's getting dramaticer, and then it cuts out, and you think, oh, are they all right? Well, you know they are. And then it goes, woof, and as it comes up, the music crescendos, and you're like, yeah, seen that a million times. But the actual film itself, great. I cannot wait to get hold of a copy of Star Trek Beyond. Haven't bought it yet because I'm hoping Father Christmas brings it me. You never know. Next up, we got number 5, which is, this might surprise a few people who know me well when it comes to films, especially Gashead. And number 5 is going to be Suicide Squad. And this film I saw at the cinema, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I unlike everybody else who hated the film, I liked the use of music, contemporary music, you know, and the way it was used within the film for each character. I thought it was fantastic. I loved that you get the bios of each character as they come on screen. Brilliant. I loved all the characters. I did think that Croc was seriously underused, which is a real shame because I like that character. But then the smaller character, Katana, was my favourite character in the whole film. I thought she was amazing. She didn't have a lot to do, but what she did I loved, and the sword was awesome. But the reason I put it at number 5 is because I got it on Blu-ray recently and I watched it a couple of days ago, and I have to say, on the second viewing it does drop off a little bit. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time. I still think it's a great film and it's really fun and enjoyable, and quite frankly I will rate the film high just purely for Jared Leto's Joker, because without doubt that's my favourite Joker. I know everyone loves Heath Ledger, but I you know, at the end of the day you've got Cesar Romero, you've got Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger and Jared Leto, and for me, I've watched all of those and Jared Leto is my favourite because he's so completely psychotic and unhinged, and I just love watching him. He's just absolute gold. And it's a shame that the extended cut didn't have more of the scenes that were cut with him and Harley, because I would love to have seen those scenes. I hope that one day they might get released because I would love to see what they did, because I thought Jared Leto was fantastic. And I hope that, you know, any of the films that he's in the future when they come out, he's going to be getting more screen time, because, you know, as much as I was hoping that they would cut the Joker from the films coming up, purely because I think the Joker has been done to death now as a character and we've had him too many times. He seems to be like the go-to character for these films, for any DC film, and Batman, you know, as it's mostly been made. But I've got to be honest, if he's that good, I don't care now. I just want him in the films. He's brilliant. But yeah, Suicide Squad is a great film. It's definitely a divisive film. Obviously, people hate it, people love it. There don't seem to be anybody in the middle. You know, I'm a big, massive, that's good use of English. I'm a huge DC movie fan so far. You know, just the main three, Man of Steel, BVS and Suicide Squad. I'm loving those films. So, number 4 is going to be Doctor Strange. Another film that surprised me because I didn't know what to expect going into it. I didn't know anything about the character. I thought, am I really going to enjoy this film? It's a bit mystical. Is it really going to be my kind of thing? Because I'm not a big fan of like the fantasy stuff. I like science fiction, but when it comes to like fantasy, I'm always a bit, doesn't really work for me. But I thoroughly enjoyed this film a lot more than I expected. I thought it was fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch was absolutely incredible. Chiwetel Ejiofor was brilliant alongside him. I love their relationship, and I love the way that they told the story and the origin of Stephen Strange, and how it wasn't rushed, it wasn't too slow. It was just the right pacing, I felt. The only downside to the film was just the way that Mordo, I'm not sure how you say his name, Chiwetel's character, when you see the post-credit scene, I wasn't kind of happy. I know that was how it was going to be and that's how they were going to go with the character, but I actually really like the character for the film, so I was a bit gutted that he's going that way, but I know it's to be expected. So we'll see how that pans out, which is a shame. But other than that, I just thoroughly enjoyed every moment of the film. It had me gripped. I did say in one of my previous videos that I did think that the visual effects were that over the top that for me at least it pulled me out in terms of not looking real. They were really well done. I just felt it was just because it's so ridiculous that the way they can manipulate the world. My brain never registered it because it was always like, well, that's clearly not possible, so it's got to be fake. But at the end, when you reverse time, it was the most incredible visual effect I'd seen in a while. Although a film I'm going to talk about later on has got even better visual effects, which blew my mind. But yeah, I was very impressed with Strange. I know that kind of undermines what I've just said there. I've just sort of done myself, haven't I? But I don't know, it's just that the reverse time worked really well and tricked me. The other stuff didn't. But I still absolutely love Doctor Strange and, highly recommend watching that one. Next up is the top 3. So here we go. Number 3, Captain America Civil War. Absolutely incredible. I've seen it a couple of times now since I saw it at the cinema. I've got the Blu-ray. What a film. Absolutely fantastic. Russo brothers did it again. Incredible action, brilliant use of characters. The airport scene was phenomenal. Black Panther, his introduction was amazing. I love that character. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I love the introduction of the new Spider-Man as well, which, now seeing the trailer for the new Spider-Man film, Homecoming, I'm very excited for as well, because that looks amazing. Yeah, I really, really liked Captain America Civil War a lot. It's hard to choose between the Captain America films, which one's my favourite, because the first Avenger was always my favourite, but recently I'm having dates and it's difficult to put them in order, but they're all great films. But absolutely fantastic. Even like young Tony Stark as well. That CG, that visual effect, absolutely incredible. But yeah, it's a really, really well done film. Love Civil War. Right, now for the main ones. Number 2 is going to be Star Wars Rogue One. Yeah, I watched it last week and I was absolutely blown away. Even to the point, and this is something I would never do, ever, but I wanted to get up at the end of the film and clap like an American. No disrespect to my American viewers, but you guys are a lot more enthusiastic than us Brits. I just really wanted to. I just wanted to stand up and cheer and be like, that film is fucking awesome. But I can't do that because, people just look at me like I'm weird or something. But I was so impressed with this movie. It was absolutely incredible. I went into it not really knowing what to expect. For anyone that's never seen my channel before, I'm a completely new convert to Star Wars. As I said earlier, I grew up in a Star Trek house. My dad does not watch Star Wars. He doesn't like those films. So I never got to experience them. I only finally got around to watching the first 6 Star Wars movies last Christmas. And I really enjoyed the first 3, or episodes 4, 5 and 6. The prequels are bollocks. 2 and 3 are watchable, but they ain't very good. Phantom Menace is bloody atrocious. But yeah, and then I went and seen, obviously, Force Awakens, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was an incredible film. I've seen it on Blu-ray since, and I still love it. It's brilliant. And so Rogue One, I knew that it fitted in between 3 and 4, and that's all I knew. And they were going to try and get the plans for the Death Star. Now, I obviously watch Collider Movie Talk, well, not obviously because you don't know me that well, but I watch Collider Movie Talk every day, and they were talking about this, and obviously the guys on there are really big into Star Wars. And they were talking about how it's a bit difficult for people to understand who don't know about Star Wars or haven't read the books and won't have the background to all the characters. I personally think that you can watch this film not having seen any Star Wars film quite easy, just as a film. It's that easy to sit down and watch because they lay it out really well with the characters, what their mission is, what they're going to do, and it all goes along at a nice pace. So I think it's quite easy to watch. And if, like me, you've only watched the Star Wars movies once, you've got some kind of insight, so there's something there for you. And if you're a big Star Wars fan, as far as I understand, there's a lot of Easter eggs and things going on in the movie that really, tick the boxes and give you fan service. It was just incredible. I really liked the beginning of the film. It was a nice pace. They built up the character as well. K2SO was absolutely fantastic. I didn't know what to make of that droid. I thought, am I going to like this one? And he was just brilliant. He's so funny. He's just absolutely excellent. Diego Luna's character, I can't remember his first name, but anyway, he's the guy that works with Jin. Really, really cool. Obviously, he's got ulterior motives throughout the film. Really good. The action scene at the end. I mean, this is the thing. This film, for me, has got the best visual effects I've ever seen in a film. It blew my mind. And to prove that, what I will say is, because I've only seen the films once, I had absolutely no idea that Peter Cushing was the guy playing Tarkin. And I've heard Peter Cushing's name growing up, but I've never seen his films. I didn't know what he looked like. So I'm watching Rogue One, and I'm sitting there, and he comes on screen, and he's talking to Ben Mendelsohn, and I'm like, sure, he was in the first film. He don't look much older. I thought nothing of it. I just carried on watching the film. And then it gets to the end of the film, and please do not watch this bit if you haven't seen the film, because it will ruin it for you. But, of course, Princess Leia turns up, and it's young Carrie Fisher. And I was just like, holy shit, that visual effect is incredible. They've really moved on since they did Tony Stark in Civil War. And then, of course, I come home and start watching reviews online, and they start telling me that Peter Cushing's been dead for like 30 years. And I was like, really? It's like absolutely blown away because I had absolutely no idea whatsoever. I was completely convinced that that person on screen was a real human being having a conversation with Ben Mendelsohn and other characters. I was amazed. So the visual effects to me, they work. They can do a real person now, and totally convinced me. It's absolutely incredible. And the battle sequence at the end, man, without doubt, one of the best things I've seen this year in the cinema. Just incredible. The way that they edited it as well, the way they cut between the land battle, the sky battle, the space battle, and then back to Jin as she's trying to get the plans. And it's just so beautifully executed that you never lose track of who's where and what they're doing. It's absolutely fantastic. And visually, my God, some of the most unbelievable visuals. This film is just absolutely stunningly beautiful to watch. Incredible movie. I was absolutely blown away by how much I enjoyed this film. So I'm really, really excited to get it on Blu-ray. I've got it ordered already on Steelbook, obviously. So I'm very excited to watch that again, and multiple viewings that one's going to get. Yeah. Also as well, Donnie Yen's character, whose name I can't bloody remember, he was amazing. He was really funny. And, you know, he has a buddy with him and all, with a massive, like, minigun version of their... I don't know what you call them, bloody guns they use in Star Wars. I don't know what you call them. Obviously, my phone's going crazy for some reason. Yeah, they're not phasers, are they? I don't know. I don't really... As I say, I've only watched Star Wars once all the way through, so I don't really know the terminology yet. But yeah, Rogue One was incredible. So, number one, my favourite movie of 2016, and quite frankly, if you've been talking to me over the year, you're going to know what it's going to be, and it is Batman v Superman. Absolutely fantastic movie. I don't care what anyone says, I don't care about all the negativity. I personally love this film to bits. I've now watched it 4 times, once at the cinema, 3 times on Blu-ray on the extended cut, and I will say that you need to watch the extended cut because quite frankly, the theatrical release, I came out grinning like an idiot and I was so hyped and happy and I loved the film to bits. But I will admit that the extended version is so much better. The ultimate cut puts loads of great scenes back in and gives Clark Kent a lot more to do in the film, and it's a lot more balanced instead of just being more of a Batman movie like it is when you watch the theatrical release. And it also helps the story as well because they fill in gaps like Jimmy Olsen for one thing. They didn't explain that in the bloody theatrical release. Everybody was guessing afterwards, was that Jimmy Olsen? Turns out, yes, it was. And they make it quite clear in the ultimate cut that that's who he is. So there's certain parts that make the film make a lot more sense, like Lois investigating the bullet, and there's all these little bits that they cut out which should never have been cut out. Yeah, like the film's 3 hours long with the ultimate cut, but it's so much better, and I never ever get bored watching it. So I watched it 3 times, the ultimate cut, 3 hours at a time, and not once have I ever clock watched that film. It's just incredible from beginning to end. Ben Affleck's Batman is phenomenal in that, and in Suicide Squad his little cameos are amazing. I cannot wait for the Batman film. It's going to be unbelievable. I love Clark Kent. You know, I think blanking on his bloody name now. I know he plays Superman, I just can't think of it. But yeah, he does an amazing job. The English bloke, Henry Cavill. Yeah, he does an absolutely great job. I personally really, really, really love Jesse Eisenberg. I'm not a fan of him as an actor, but my God, his Lex Luthor is incredible. He's just so slightly twisted. He's not quite on the level of Jared Leto's Joker, but he's just not right. And you know, I love it. It's so good. Every time I watch it, it just gets better and better. Absolutely brilliant movie. So good. And of course, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, amazing. My most anticipated film of 2016 is going to be Wonder Woman at the moment. Obviously, we've got Justice League next year, and there's like 19 films in total I want to see next year. There's some absolutely incredible films coming out. But man, Wonder Woman's going to be something special. I've really got high hopes for that. But I am, without doubt, a massive, massive Batman Superman fan. It's funny because I've never read a comic in my life, apart from the Beano and a Dandy, which I don't know if they count, probably not. I only know Batman and Superman from the films and the TV shows. You know, I watched all the DC TV shows as well, which did help me quite a lot. Because obviously when you have the Flash scene in Batman v Superman, I said to my dad, because he won't watch the film, he refuses to watch it because he's not big on the comic book stuff. I keep telling him DC is nothing like Marvel. You know, it's a lot darker and it's a lot more the kind of film he would watch. I know he'd enjoy it. But I says to him, the only thing you'll have a problem with is the Flash sequence. It won't make any sense whatsoever. Obviously, the desert scene, that didn't make sense to me because I don't know the comics. But I have watched Collider Movie Talk and they've explained all that. So that's really cool, like with the power demons and all that sort of thing. But I mean, the Flash, I knew from the TV show that obviously he's got the ability to travel through time. So that kind of makes a little bit more sense to me. But yeah, I just love it, man. Everything about that film is just incredible. I've got a poster over there on the wall. I've got an 18-inch Batman standing underneath. I've got a Batman keyring, a Batman v Superman logo keyring. I am just totally hooked. And for someone who's never read a comic book and is just only au fait with the films and TV shows, it did the job for me. It ticked all the boxes. It was just absolutely stunning piece of work. And I've got the Steelbook, very happy with it. And yeah, I will continue to watch it for years to come. And I hope that DC continue down this path and don't listen to the haters and then just make it lighter and Marvel-y, because I like the fact that it's so distinct from Marvel and it's more my style of filming. Yeah, it's brilliant. Anyway, guys, that has probably been a very long video, but that was my top 10 films of 2016. What are your top 10? Let me know down below in the comments description. I'm out of touch, I ain't been doing this for long enough. Let me know in the comments what your top 10 are. Recommend any films I might not have seen, because I say I've got 19 there, but there might have been some I've missed that are really good. So let me know what you think, and let me know your views on those films I've talked about as well. So thank you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it wasn't too difficult to get through. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I'm doing a lot of gesticulating. I don't know why I'm doing that in this video, but there you go. And I'll see you. I'm doing it again. Look, I can't help myself. It's just, yeah, I'll be back hopefully next week with a Christmas pickups video, Christmas gifts video, if I get anything from Santa, which I probably will. So yeah, you'll probably see my mug on camera again. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.